think that's a perfect segue to my next question. I am a Black woman who has a degree of financial privilege, which means I have the means to spread my domestic labor and outsource it to many different places, both paid and unpaid. I've got my parents, I got his parents, I got Netflix, I got Amazon Prime, summer camp, daycare. I got everything, but like a lot of the business literature that you read that is directed towards women almost asks me to wear that as a badge of pride. They tell me that my ability to outsource my domestic work is the reason for doing all of this. And I feel conflicted because if you're not careful, it can feel like progress. But what it really is capitalism, is my ability to pay for a solution. Yes. And so I wanted to tap on and allow other financially privileged women to feel a little pressure here. Yeah. What are some ways that women with financial privilege can use it to advocate for better solutions that affect all of us?
Yes, I love this question. I mean, I want to go back a little bit to when women really surged into the professional workforce, right? So this is like, like 1950s, 1960s, right? This is like Betty Friedan, the feminine mystique, which was like women are not many women are not satisfied in just the home, right? Like they want more from their lives. And I think I'm on board with that. But Friedan's solution was really like, go find meaning in professional work, leave the house, right? And lots of people really leaned into that. That's how we got lean feminism. That's how we got the girl boss, right? Yeah. And the idea was great. It kind of turned toxic in like a predictably American way because it's cool. Like people can go out of the house to work. Domestic work never went away. Right. Right. And so the idea was, like that was only accessible to some people, mainly financially privileged and white people. Mm-hmm. And so someone still had to do the domestic labor. And that's when we bring in women of color.
I've drafted the Home Health Sanitation Initiative.
The what?
A bill that requires every white home to have a separate bathroom for the help.
Maybe we should just build you a bathroom outside, Haley.
To do this job for low wages and to remain invisible. Right. Yes. So that's, setting it up. So we're up against this thing that's been in motion, right. And celebrated really in America for a full, like 2 generations. And so now, like I, like you, am someone who grew up, like, I know so well, like so intimately what it's like to feel othered, right? To feel like these systems are not meant for me. And I feel like I came late, like not until my like teens and 20s to like a class understanding that I grew up with financial privilege, right? And that like, and I have like much more financial privilege than my white husband, right? That was a lot for me to take on, right? But so now it's like, okay, great. So I'm here. And like, I wish for everyone the ability to share that labor, right? To share it paid and unpaid, right? Because this job can't be done alone, right? So I don't want anyone to feel shame or any type of way about needing help and taking advantage of, well, not taking advantage. We don't want to take advantage of our help, right? But we want to compensate that fairly. So there's a number of things, right? That I want to just say to people like, I see you who like want to do better, but are also like, I don't know that I can afford to, even with my financial privilege, because the economic systems and the standards of like the market and what we pay domestic workers and childcare workers, like we didn't create that system, right? So I want to name that, but it still is, it doesn't excuse us from trying to fix it, right? So I think there's the federal piece, right, which is fighting for policies, which is also fighting for like a domestic workers bill of rights, funding for in-home childcare. Like there's so many different ways to get involved, right? And I think these fights are ongoing. Right. Just because we didn't get these things, like there has been much progress made in the last, people have been working on this for decades. Right. Mm-hmm. But we were very close. I mean, the Biden administration ran on paid family leave.
Let's make sure working parents can afford to raise a family with sick days, paid family medical leave, affordable child care.
Right. And the Democratic controlled Congress just kept bargaining that away. And letting go of it. Like we were talking about 12 weeks of paid family leave at one point, and we saw it go down to 4, then 2, and then it just disappeared, right? But there are movements The National Domestic Workers Alliance is a great one to join. Paid leave for all. Like, these things are in motion. You don't have to do that much. You just need to send an email, make a call, and figure out how to be involved. So that's one level at which people could get involved. There's a great organization that I love that's called Hand in Hand. It's a domestic employers union and employers organization, and they work with both. So many of us who hire people to come and whether it's clean our homes or take care of our children, we don't necessarily see ourselves as employers, right? But we are. And our homes are work sites. And so just because the culture doesn't want us to formalize that doesn't mean that we can't or that we shouldn't. So Hand in Hand works with families, individual employers, and they get feedback and data, and they listen to the needs and the wants of domestic employees, and they work with people who want to do better. They have templates, so they have things in the state that I live in, Washington, and also in New York, but you should go to their website. They have template agreements that you can print out so that you can have a better relationship with your nanny or your house cleaner. They have guides to how to handle conversations around a bonus or time off, right? And so I think to really start to see this work as real work, and maybe you cannot offer health insurance and paid leave to your employee, but you might be able to learn more about their family, see if they have children that they might like to bring, right? Once or twice a week, how can you meet them halfway? And how can you give this job respect and dignity through that formalization? So I think those are two great places to start. I also just think talk to the people that you employ. Talk to these people who are intimately familiar with your family, who care about you, treat them as full people, find out what their needs are and how you can create a better relationship that allows you both to benefit and thrive.
Beautiful. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Cashing Out the Podcast. To see more videos like this, subscribe to our YouTube channel and be sure to turn on your notifications. To get your copy of Cashing Out the book, visit Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, your local bookstore, or download the audiobook on Audible.